Here are some tips for speeding up your double knitting so that you can go really fast. I just want to show you that double knitting doesn't have to be slow once you've got the hang of it. So here are a few tips. First of all, make sure that your yarns are pretty separate. Like I have them like a couple feet apart on the floor. That way we don't have to worry about them twisting too much, and it'll be obvious and easy to undo when they do twist, right? So you don't have to stop and re-tension your yarn and fix the twist. Alright, the rest of it mostly has to do with how far I insert the needle when I do each stitch. And I'm going to be demonstrating these tips continental because that's the way that I feel is fastest. If you want to learn the continental style, you can go to knitfreedom.com/classes/continental knitting. So let's get started. Then see how I'm using both of my fingers to hold that stitch on as I put this needle through? That's going to help you go quickly. You don't have to be careful on worrying about that stitch falling off. So hold that stitch on there. Go ahead and knit it. Pull it through, and see how I let the yarn feed every time I do a stitch? That's also important because if you're knitting really tightly and you've got the yarn like this over your finger and you're not letting it go, it's going to be hard for you to knit. So every time I move the stitch down here, I let the yarn feed through my fingers. Alright. Holding the stitch on, and see how far I'm inserting my needle through there? Makes it a lot easier to pick the color that I want, using your fingers to pull that through. Like that, and see how far I put it back on the needle? That way it's already ready for the next stitch. Now when I move the stitches to the front, I let the yarn feed again. Okay? So that I'm not like all choked up on here and having to make room. I've already got room. Like that. So you want a lot of room. Alright? Now insert your needle far so that it comes up to the tip of your finger, so you don't have to like bring your finger down here or anything. Insert your needle all the way, that's like at least 2.5 inches. Like that. And pull that yarn through for purling. Alright, let's watch it again. Now you don't have to use your fingers if you angle your needles correctly and see how I'm making a lot of room as I knit? Like that, like I've got everything really spread out so I can really see what I'm doing. Now let's start to speed up a little bit. Notice that I'm pushing the stitches up with my left hand and down with my right hand as I make room for them. When I have so much space on my needles, I can really use them to maneuver. See that? So I'm pushing them down onto the right hand needle as I go. Alright. So you can get across a row in a matter of seconds, which will enable you to knit this entire scarf in probably a day and a half.